Hello and welcome to a special presentation from In the Money Media. PTF back with you from the little house on the east side in Saratoga. That's not where my eyes are today/tonight for horse racing. They are looking westward to Assiniboia Downs. Huge night of racing. Manitoba Derby, lots of stakes. If that's not enough, $465,000 in the mandatory payout, 20-cent pick five. Great way to get some action on a summer Monday. And two things. I love handicapping Assiniboia, but the guest today, I don't hold a candle to him when it comes to following the local form. Nobody is as big of a fan of the racing out there as today's guest. But there's another reason why it's very important for me to listen to somebody else's opinion today. It is my birthday. And famously, in all these years betting at Saratoga, I don't do well on my birthday. I cannot recall a winning birthday since the 90s when a horse named Birthday won on my birthday. True story. That was the last winner I had. It's been a long quarter century. But don't worry about that. I am going to give my ideas, but I'm going to be deferring to the man in the hat and the red shirt. He's Mikee P. Mike Probosi. How are things? How pumped are you for this tremendous Monday night of racing?
Well, first of all, happy birthday, PTF. And there's actually a standardbred horse named Birthday that's going right now. That's actually a very good horse. So we can maybe look for that one this week for you. I love ASD, obviously. We're doing these shows every week. I mean, last week I gave you a horse. I got a horse down that was 0 for 26 somehow. So you have to look deep into these races. We got some stakes, though. Manitoba Derby, mandatory payout. So this is all we want on a Monday night.
What I think I'm going to do construction-wise, well, we'll see. Depending on how spready you are. If you're not too spready, what I might do is put together 5 different tickets for this pick 5. Each one, basically like taking the top pick in every race and then playing that horse with a little bit wider spread in the others. That might be my idea with this 20-cent increment in particular. Might be able to get it done that way. So I'll have to be right on top at least once and then have the opportunity to hit it for more than the minimum if we're right a bunch of times. Let's start off by talking about the race that kicks this thing off. We've got a 3K claimer as race number 3, scheduled post time 9:25 Eastern. I was very boring with the horse that the horse that stood out to me was one called I Will Stand, winning sort, and I just thought reasons to run better today. Significant drop from the 5K down to this 3K, and look, the main speed for a hot barn. The layoff, very much of a question. I need to have this horse in somewhere, Mikey, but who else do we need to use? And is this even the right horse?
Yeah, I think you have to use the horse. These are bottoms here, right? It's 3 claimers that haven't won a race in a year, basically. They're going 7.5, so that's 2 turns at Assiniboia. And it's hard to find long shots that you can really latch onto. So you're stuck, hoping that horses that have had prior form actually show up in the race. And you mentioned I Will Stand. Had raced well at other places, races like Zia, places like Canterbury. So he's got speed. He has 12 lifetime wins, and he is a use, I think, for me on the ticket. But the 3 I think you can use also, Discreet Invasion. Faced open 4s last time. That was a better spot than these. And this horse was grindy in there. Earned a pretty decent figure. 59 buyer. That will get it done in this race, to be sure. So he's just going to have to grind his way if he's going to win. If you're looking for a price, maybe the 8 Magnolia Speed is a horse I could consider. I know he's facing 4 life types, but gets a jockey switch here. And this is one of the top riders at the course. The barn is sharp, going at 19% with limited starters. So drops to the 3 claiming level. Horse that tends to come from off the pace. So if the speed does back up here, I do want to have this horse on my ticket at 8-1. So a little 4, 3, and 8 here.
All right, nice. I definitely see the logic there, and we'll have some tickets using all 3 of those, and then maybe another set pressing up. I Will Stand. The stakes portion of the card begins with race number 4. We've got the escape clause. We're going a mile with 50,000 in the pot. One that I definitely need to have somewhere with all this the lead speed in here is the 1 Burrow Down, who I was thinking might be able to get some position going forward, but stalk and pounce his way to victory from the inside. Good mark at the course, good mark at the distance. Burrow Down is one I need. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, I mean, the race really starts and stops talking about him, right? I mean, he's won 10 races and 13 starts at the racetrack, and he's dominated these $50,000 stakes around here. It's not an easy race. Now, he did beat the 8 Bling Dancer whenever they raced against each other at Century Mile back on May the 17th. But it was on May 31st. In that spot. But prior to that, Bling Dancer went 108 at Century Mile there, going 6 furlongs, earning an 80 figure. Comes to Assiniboia for the first time. This horse is very speedy and stretches out to that mile distance. I think he's going to be in front. Can Burrow Down catch him? That is the question. Do the other speeds put enough pressure on the 8? I would just be those two. Some of the other ones just don't class up enough for me in this spot, especially going this distance. So I'd be heavy 1 and 8 here.
Race number 5 is the Harvey Warner Manitoba Mile. Once again, a mile with 50,000 in the pot. Judo, the 3 runner, comes here with a figure edge, looking for the 4-peat, and another horse I think will pull a good trip around this oval, in behind the speed, but not too far back. Can Judo chop them down in the Harvey Warner, Mikey?
He's been very good, and he's probably the horse of the meet so far. It just has been unbeatable. No matter the trip and no matter the post, he just has been really, really good from off the pace. Has to face some nice horses in here, though. And my top pick, I think, would be the 9 Malibu SS. Now, this is Jerry Gourneau. Shipped this horse up from Lone Star off the claim back in June and wired a field. And that was an open allowance race. Some of the top horses around here in that spot earned an 83 figure. So this horse, I think, can class up with these. You can get a little separation if you can get this horse down. I'm not suggesting to leave Judo off the tickets, but we've been very chalky so far. So, if it chalks out here, this is not going to pay very much. Another horse you can use at a price, I think, Pinky Ring Bling, the 6 in this race, finished second to Judo last time, has been chasing that one, but right there on the wire, has 7 wins, has plenty of shares, and it's another one from Jerry Gourneau. He has come to play since he's returned. So I would use some 9, some 6, and some 3 there.
Another case for the 9 Malibu SS, looking at the time form algorithm, had that last day, July 23rd at Assiniboia, as favoring off the pace runners. And this one did it pretty much on the lead, motoring home. So that's a nice case, and one that we'll definitely be including. Probably will find a way to use all 3 of those as we move on to the 6th race on the card, the race that gives the day its name. This is the Assiniboia Derby, a mile and an 1/8 for these 3-year-olds in this spot. Suppose we got to start talking about the 7 Take Charge Tom races that would bury these, but in the local debut just scraped home at 1-20. I don't love that. Suppose you can upgrade the run a little bit for the fast fractions, but this could be fast again. I was a little bit inclined to try to sneak some closers on the ticket in the form of 4 Attack and 6 Maldini, but I'm not going to get beat by the 7. Let's start with Take Charge Tom. Are you with or against?
I'm with. I mean, I know that was a 3-horse race in that Derby trial, but if you watch the race, he looked in control. And just trust me, looked to get away from him on the turn and really turned it up. I thought Whitehall rode the horse very well to try to beat him. Now, that was going a mile, but as the race got longer, the strides got bigger for Take Charge Tom. He was never losing. I know the line looks a little deceiving there, but I do think that extra furlong is going to suit him. Now, he's 1-2 in the program. I mean, he's not going to break the bank here at all, but I'm not sure that I would want to oppose him in this race. I don't think, if Just Trust Me couldn't beat him in a 3-horse race where he had control, I just don't see how this horse gets beat, especially going a little bit further. And he raced in the Texas Derby, faced horses like Instant Replay. I mean, he raced in the Sunland Derby. This horse has some class to him. He got that start over the racetrack. He's really going to be tough to beat.
How big of an edge is that to have the run over the track? I would think at a quirky, not in a bad way, but different kind of oval like Assiniboia, it would be huge for horses coming from these other circuits to have that run over the track. Is that accurate?
I think so, because if you look, a lot of horses that excel here. I mean, we talked about Burrow Down earlier in the card on race number 4. He's 10 for 13 lifetime. A lot of these other horses now, it's a limited circuit. A lot of these horses stay here, they race here, but the fact that they showed up here and got to start over this racetrack, I think is very, very important for this horse. And he already showed that he can handle it, and he looked not even just to handle it, that he relished it. So that's another reason why I'm really not interested in opposing him in this race.
All right, makes sense to me. I'll definitely be pressing that one more than I was planning to based on your say-so. We go to the Nightcap, the pay leg. We've got fillies. We're going 5.5 furlongs. I thought this race on paper was a little bit more competitive than the morning line had it. I mean, I certainly get the presumptive favorite, Sum It Up, looking like the main speed, but I wanted to make a little bit of a case for Bound for Heaven in this spot as my top pick, basically because I think she's versatile in terms of running style, and she's a trier. These are 3 pretty good efforts. She comes here on the back of 3-year-old, chance for some improvement. So I was going to pick the 6. Who do you like to close it out?
I do agree that this race sets up for a price. If you watched Sum It Up last time, really, that was his worst race, her worst race in quite a while, and just grinded up early, was on the pace, but didn't offer much. Now, was claimed out of there by Wendy Anderson, and she's very sharp. So maybe we'll be able to turn this horse around in the race, but I'm looking to oppose, and I would start with the outside horse, Bring On the Bubbly. It's another Jerry Gourneau coming up from Lone Star. If you look at the dirt lines, I know it's state bred and 2 life type races down there, but he claimed for 7,500 back in May, stepped right up and got a win off of that, and then tried the grass and a 1x allowance there. The horse was bet in there, was almost 12-1, and ended up didn't like the grass. Finished ninth. That's fine. Now you ship up here, you get the top jock, you get an outside post. I do think that this horse could improve, and one that I want at 10-1 on the program. The 5 Distinctive Deb, I think, is a player in this race. I thought raced well last time against horses like Midshipman's Lady. This horse has been at this level, at this open allowance type, and I think fits here. Has 7 wins in 27 lifetime starts, so likes to win whenever this horse gets the best of it. I think could get a stalking trip, one that I want to use on the ticket. And then the 7 Magic Chrome is another one. You get Whitehall again, comes out of that same race on July the 22nd. That was the first start over the track, and we discussed that in the previous race. This horse got the prep there, did make up ground in the stretch. That was a tough race to make up ground. It was pretty much last the way around there. The front end dominated that race. I want this horse back. I like that Whitehall's back on. He's riding very well. So give me prices in the last. I like the 8. I like the 5. I like the 7. I could see your 6, but that is a step up in class. The 2 life allowance races, this is a tougher spot for that one.
All right, fair enough. But I think if we're opposing Sum It Up, might be able to move all 4 onto some tickets.
Sure.
You're okay. Sum It Up wins, we lose. You're all right with that approach?
Yeah, for me, I mean, first, as many favorites as I have on my play earlier, I just think that this is one that I'm looking to take a shot against. And there's going to be a ton of money in this pool. There's going to be several $1 million in this pick 5 pool with this big carryover. So you're going to have to take stands some places. I am using the favorite in the big race. I will have no 2 in the finale.
I like it. Bold and very cool. Honestly, with this low increment, another way to play it is to basically caveman the selections that we've talked about, and then try to come back and press with the favorites. So you sort of do a more sophisticated approach with the horses you like the best, but with some of these prices, you can just sort of cycle it around and hope you have a chance to either catch something that's going to pay or hit it a few times with some of the lesser horses, but having combinations that you're going to pretty much be able to get something decent back in terms of risk and reward with all that money added to the pot. That's the plan anyway. Any closing thoughts from you, Mikey, on this Manitoba Derby card?
No, just a reminder, they start at 8:30 Eastern. There's a $100,000 guarantee in the pick 4. That's the last 4 races, those pick 4 pools, and we've been promoting it very strongly, have been huge. I expect another big pool tonight. So if you get bounced out of that pick 5 with the big carryover and the mandatory payout, jump in on that late pick 4. $1 minimum, 100,000 guarantee, and certainly that pot is going to be huge as well. So lots of great racing, great wagering opportunities at Assiniboia, and they're going Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week. So jump in on Assiniboia. You won't be disappointed.
Good stuff for Mikey. I'm PTF. Thanks so much to our friends at Assiniboia Downs. Thanks to you for watching this video, listening over on the podcast side. If you are new to our YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe. You can subscribe to the In the Money Players podcast wherever you get your pods as well. May you win all your photos.